Okay, let's talk about Standard 6, becoming a professional. So like you have demonstrated in Standard 7, you have an artifact for each component. So 7A, 7B. You're going to do the same thing for Standard 6. So for Standard 6, you now need to identify 5 artifacts for each standard. Now here's the other part. If you if you realized that in Standard 7 you had 2 options, a certificate or a picture, some sort of an artifact from your internship. So Standard 7, really easy to do, which is why we started with it. Standard 6, you're going to have a lot of choices. So, Standard 6A, identifying and involving oneself in the early childhood field. Okay, so you could do something like an Arizona Workforce Registry membership card. Or maybe you went to the day at the Capitol and you posted a picture of you advocating at the Capitol. Everyone is going to be different. You're not going to tell me, or you're not going to hear me tell you that you are right or wrong. If it's something that I review and think like, ooh, that one's questionable, or that one really sounds more like a 6D, then that's what we'll do, right? I'll give you the suggestion. Ultimately, you have to talk to all of these in your presentation because you are presenting your portfolio. So this class is highly reflective and you have to demonstrate. So 6B, knowing about and upholding ethical standards. A lot of people just put the NAEYC Code of Ethics and then they speak to it. You know, they'll put it as the artifact, the Code of Ethics as the artifact, as a PDF. And then what they do is they talk about how maybe I didn't know that there was a set of Code of Ethics, or, you know, after reviewing the Code of Ethics, I understand how important all areas of the Code of Ethics are important. So that's what most people do, right? But you could do something different if it is what you truly identify with. 6C is engaging in continuous collaborative learning to inform practices, using technology effectively with young children, with peers, and interprofessional resource. A lot of people will put something along the lines of either tying it back to maybe an assignment that you did in EED 111, multimedia, or if you attended a training on technology, or something along those lines where you participated in something. That's what's important. 6D, integrating knowledgeable, reflective, and critical perspectives on early childhood. So then this one is very open, right? So it can be anything from, I've had people do lots of different things, but like for an example, they'll do a flyer for parent-teacher conferences, right? And then they speak about how they have to integrate all of their knowledge. They're being reflective of the child's learning and the critical perspectives on early childhood. So like, these are things that we highlight, and these are things that we know as professionals to come along, but having that conversation with parents in a respectful, reciprocal, meaning back and forth. I talk, you share with me, I share with you way is important. I don't want to see everybody put a parent-teacher conference note on there. So if you have something different, please say that. Another one might be a portfolio. Like if you're doing children's portfolios, that might be one because you're demonstrating the knowledge, and then what you can do is you can talk about how you base the lesson plans off of the milestones that children are reaching. 6E is engaging in informed advocacy. Again, instead of doing the day at the Capitol for 6A, you could do it for 6E. Or recently there is a proposition, a bill that's come out, and it's all about putting back on the ballot First Things First funding to include so it's a tobacco tax, first of all. So, but when it was originally written, I didn't personally write it, but when it was originally written, it didn't include like all the paraphernalia. And now we're seeing a drop in funding. So it's going back on the ballot to include all the paraphernalia that goes with tobacco so that we can increase our funds again. And so just by saying, this is what I did, I sent this out, I wrote a letter to the Congress or to my, you know what I mean? Like, if you are advocating that, that's what you'd want to put in there. And then your artifact could be like a letter or the bill, or you know what I mean? So anyway, those are all ideas. I just want to make sure that we all understand that it's going to be different for each of you. This is your reflection and your thoughts. So everyone's a professional or came to be a professional in different ways, and this is your way to showcase it. Talk to you soon.